Turning now to your community focus. Today we're checking in with a member of our federal delegation, U.S. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
He is joining us live via Zoom. Senator, our thanks for joining us today.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
Let's first start with the conversations around gun reform and gun rights after these two mass shootings in the span of a week. Just yesterday, Senator Dick Durbin said, quote, keeping firearms out of the hands of convicted felons and mentally unstable people should be something everyone agrees on. That's the end of his quote. We know it is not that simple. So what's happening in the Senate right now?
Well, at the moment, we're in the traditional after-massacre logjam of Democrats trying very hard to try to find a way to make some improvements in our current system, and Republicans basically rallying around the NRA flag and refusing to compromise on anything. There was some years ago, you remember the window where gun-toting Democratic Senator Joe Manchin joined up with very conservative Republican Senator Pat Toomey to propose a series of bipartisan reforms, and those got taken apart under political pressure and now are not even viable, even though they had been viable just a few years ago. So it's a real logjam, and I think it is probably a situation that's going to take public pressure to get us to 60 votes to be able to actually do something or fix the filibuster.
Senator, I want to shift gears a little bit. You sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland about the FBI probe into alleged misconduct by now Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, calling that investigation, quote, politically constrained and perhaps fake. I want to know, have you received any response from the AG?
Not yet. I think there were 4 separate questions and then a separate observation in that letter, and I suspect it's going to take them some time to sort through and provide answers. But when I spoke to the Attorney General in our hearings and in person, when I spoke to the Deputy Attorney General nominee, and when I spoke to the FBI Director, they all agreed that they would break down the stone wall that we have seen between us and all of this information and let me try to get some answers to these long pending questions.
And Senator, stimulus payments through the American Rescue Plan, they continue going out. We know another round went out just today. It's tied to that almost $2 trillion recovery plan. How do we as a country recover from the cost like that of the recovery plan? Well,
the evidence that we have from people who are far smarter than I about macroeconomics and all of that, like our Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, is that when the economy is headed into a problem, like we have had, a really massive problem with families way behind on rent, way behind on mortgage payments, way behind on basic upkeep and maintenance, and in many cases in dire economic circumstances, that can drag the country down into a very bad economic situation, whereas a sudden, really strong surge of support for those families can boost us across the chasm and get us into a good, bright economic future. And that's the theory, is that you're paying now for the boost that comes once that money hits the streets and people have the ability to restore their family life and get themselves back on their feet again.
Speaking of good and bright, you have a bill that would make daylight saving time permanent. We talk a lot about this.
Good segue.
Thank you. We talk a lot about the time change, the desire for more sunshine, but Senator, level with us. How likely is it that this is really going to change?
Well, we'll see. We have until November when it shifts back. And I think, we work better in Congress on deadlines. I don't know anybody who looks forward to that day when suddenly it's dark at 4-something in the afternoon because the time shifted back and they lost the evening light and their kids lost that playtime. So I think as we get closer to November, we'll see how it goes. But that shift back does not have a lot of fans, and I'd like to see it never happen if we can pull it off. It's bipartisan with Marco Rubio of Florida and myself, and I think we'll be able to get a lot of other people to support it.
And Senator, just quickly before we let you go, roughly 2/3 of Rhode Island's COVID-19 related deaths have happened in nursing homes. A version of a bill you introduced to help nursing homes has been included in the American Rescue Plan. What should local homes expect to see, and how quickly can they see that money?
Well, it'll depend how quickly it gets processed through, but will be in the next few months. And obviously the Biden administration wants to move it as quickly as possible. I think the most important thing that they may see is if there's another outbreak in a nursing home, if there's a variant that comes in and that causes an outbreak, there'll be much more resources to bring in like a strike team to take care of everybody in a situation in which there's real risk to personnel. Personnel aren't able to work because they've been exposed to COVID. Coping through that high exposure situation, I think, will be the thing we'll head off that's going to be most valuable.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse on a range of topics this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us today at 4.
Thanks for having me.